Hi everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 200. Wow, I can't believe that this is episode 200. It just seemed like I started doing this yesterday. So let's just get started and I'll show you what I've done this week. I've got several finished objects to show you. Small projects, but they're finished, so I'll show you and see what I've also worked on. Okay, so for my first finished object, I finished the project that I have been doing over on my Whip Wall Wednesday series, and I do like to show when I have a finished object with that series, I do like to show it here on my regular Yarnjoy podcast episode. If you want to know more about it, then please check out my Whip Wall Wednesday videos, and I go into much more detail about how, you know, the story behind the project and my process and progress and working on it and all that. So anyway, I'll show you, since it is a finished object, I'll show you on here. Okay, so this is a corner-to-corner blanket that I've been working on finishing, something I did a long time ago, and I wanted to finish it, and I finished it. So here it is. So this is the corner-to-corner blanket that I've been working on for my Whip Wall Wednesday series, okay? And so there you go. It is, of course, corner to corner, so the Afghan, so the image is the same on both sides. It's not a very large blanket. It's about, it would be good for like a car seat blanket or maybe a carriage, stroller, maybe like a cradle, you know, bassinet blanket maybe. Anyway, there it is. And I'm so happy to have this finished. I think it's super cute. So that will be going in, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might save it for a baby shower gift. Probably would be good. It's always good to have a supply of baby blankets and things on hand. I might do that or donate it. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I'm finished with it. And so since I'm finished with it, I am now just starting a new project to work on for my Whip Wall Wednesday series. And so if you want to find out what that project is going to be, check out my Whip Wall Wednesday videos. I will link, I just did one yesterday, yes, yesterday, and announcing that project. So I will link that video below in the description box if you want to go over there and check it out and see what the next project I'm going to be working on will be. Okay. On to finish object number 2. I made a backpack buddy. I started this last week and showed you the beginning of it, and I'm now finished with it. So let me show you that. Get his hat all straight here. Okay, I made Mr. Potato Head. When I saw this pattern, I couldn't resist it. I just had to make him. I think he's just so cute. And I tried to make him, you know, scale him down because the original, I think the original pattern was made with worsted weight yarn. And so I tried to make him, like I said, as small as I could so I could turn him into a backpack buddy. I believe the pattern is called that it is a keychain. I think so. But using worsted weight, he turned out really large, and so I wanted to try to make him as small as possible, so I went down to a 3mm hook and also used baby yarn and number 3 weight, sport weight, DK weight, that type, number 3 weight yarn. Most of it I think is some baby yarn that I had. Anyway, I think he's cute. Look at that. Okay, so that is finished object number 2. Okay. Oh, and I will put a link to the pattern in the description box below. It is a pattern by, I'll look at here, let's see, natalinacraft.com is where I found it, and I will put a link to that below, in the box below. Okay, number 3 finished object is, I got started on my preemie hats, my goal for 4 preemie hats per month to donate to one of our local area NICU departments at one of the hospitals here. They do a Halloween hat drive every year, and I love to be able to donate to that. And so I got started on my April hats, and I did this one, and it is, he's kind of funny looking. It's an Elmo hat. He's got really googly eye, not googly, but really, see, look how big his eyes are. this pattern, oh, I didn't write it down, but I will link it below in the description box where I got this pattern. I can't remember, but I will link it. Now the beanie was made with, well, it's all, let's see. Yeah, it's all sport weight or number 3 weight yarn. The beanie I had made ahead of time. I made it, what was it? Oh, it was one of the Hungry Caterpillar hats, I think, that I made, and I made the beanie. That's what the original, this beanie was going to be, but this beanie turned out a little larger than I was wanting it to be for the pieces that I had made for the Hungry Caterpillar hat. Yeah, and so I ended up just with this beanie, and so I thought, well, I'm going to use it, and I turned it into an Elmo hat. And so the beanie was not made by that particular Elmo hat pattern, but I did use the pattern to make the eyes and the nose, and kind of gave me inspiration for the mouth or whatever. Anyway, so that's preemie hat number 1. It is a little bit larger preemie hat, but I do know that from experience when my son was in the NICU many moons ago, he is 18 right now, he was the biggest baby in the NICU. He was 8 pounds and 10 ounces, and the reason he was in there is because he had fluid on his amniotic fluid that he had breathed in during labor, and so he had to be in there for a while on oxygen until he got that fluid absorbed into his body. So he was in there along with all the other little preemies that were in there. Well, he was 2 weeks early, so not super preemie, but anyway, so he was in there with all the little tiny ones, and he was the biggest boy, biggest little boy, or biggest boy, or girl, biggest baby in there. So I do know that there are babies that are in the NICU that are all sizes. So anyway, this one's a little bit larger. Okay, so that is finished object number 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now finished object number 4 and 5 is the same thing. I just made 2 of them, but I made, let me put it on my hand here. I made a Bumblebee hat. I didn't put a face on this one. I just did the striped hat with the antenna. And now this is a mixture of patterns. I used the beanie pattern from creamofthecropcrochet.com, okay? And I believe it was the tiger hat, but I mean, it was just a preemie beanie pattern from that website. And so I used that, but I, of course, did the striping for the bees. I did 2 rows of yellow and then 1 row of black. 2 rows of yellow, 1 row of black, like that. And so this is the first one that I came up with. Now the antennas, I pretty much come up with them on my own because I had followed one. I thought I was following, well, I looked at one pattern for the antennas, but what was written, when I made it wasn't it didn't come out to be the antenna that was in the picture, which is strange. The one I made, it had this bend in it, and it was almost like a U, and so I didn't like the way it was coming out, and so I just kind of winged these. I think I chained 10, and then I slip stitched in not the second chain from the hook, but the third chain from the hook, because I was trying to get a little knobby thing on the end of the antennas. And so I chained, not 10, I chained 11. Yeah, on this, I think. Yeah. And then I slip stitch in the third chain from the hook, and then I slip stitched all the way down. And then, so that's all I did. And that's how they turned out. Okay, so I made this one, and then I still had some yellow. This is Wash Weight Yarn Red Heart Super Saver Bright Yellow. And I still had, ball about so big, and so I thought, well, I'll make another one, because I was sitting there watching Jaws. I watched Jaws Part 3 last night. I have them all on DVD. And so I watched that one, and while I was watching it, I didn't want to have to get up, and so I just thought, well, I'm sitting here, I might as well go ahead and keep going, and so I just made a second one. Now I used a G hook, 4mm hook, which is what the pattern on Cream of the Crop Crochet called for their beanie pattern. Okay, so this one I believe was the pattern that was for like 1 to 3 pound preemie or something like that. Okay, and so I thought, well, okay, well, I'll make this one, but I'll make it a little bit different size. And so this is the second one that I made. And as you can see, this one's got a third black stripe because there's some more rounds on this one. This one was the 3 to 5 pound version. Okay, but besides that, it's the same. I think you end up with a couple of more stitches in around, and then you have like an extra one row. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's got 9 rows. This one ended up with 8, I think. So anyway, that's why I ended up with a black stripe down at the bottom. Anyway, and the antennas I did the same, except I thought, well, it's a little bigger hat. Maybe I should chain another chain. And so I think this one I might have chained 12 or something. And then I did the same thing as I did the other antenna on the other hat. Okay, so this is Preemie Hats 1, 2, and 3 for April. And so I just have one more to do. And then that'll be done. So I might do another bee one because I still have a little bit of that bright yellow yarn. So maybe I'll do another bee. I don't know. I think they turned out really cute. And so I might do that. I'm really wanting to make a Mike Kozowski hat. I always make at least one of those every year because it's fun to put together from Monsters Incorporated, and so I know that I'm going to be making one of those soon. But I may go ahead and make another bee just to finish my 4 off. Over 4 for the month because I still have a little bit of that yellow left, and it's already out on my desk in there in the black, so might do that. I don't know. Anyway, so that's all my finished objects that I've gotten done. They're little bitty things, but I got several of them finished, so I'm glad. Okay, so on to my works in progress. I have one works in progress that I started last week. I did a little bit on, and then I have one works in progress that's new, and then I have one works in progress that I had put aside for a little bit because I was working on baby items, and so I picked him back up and did some work on him. So okay, let's talk about works in progress now. Okay, so for works in progress, number 1 is the Tune My Heart blanket. I think that's what it's called. And it is from Tossed Waves Designs. I will put that in the description box below. But I will pop in a picture right here of what that blanket, well, what the pattern looks like. Okay, mine's going to look different. But here is the picture of the picture that went with the pattern, okay? Okay, so that is the baby blanket I'm working on. I'm using baby yarn or baby sport, or I think that's what it's called, or number 3 weight. Okay, that's the yarns I'm using. Okay, now the colors, if you saw in the picture, it was a bunch of different shades of pink, and I don't have that many shades of pink. I think there was like 8 different colors that she used besides the white heart in the middle, and I don't have that many shades of pink. I have quite a few pinks right over there, but I don't have 8 of them. And so I thought, well, I'm going to pick out pinks and purples and green, and, you know, and that's what, yeah, I think that's about it. I even have some pink sparkly, baby pink sparkly that I'm adding. But anyway, I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how it goes and if what I need to add. I might add a couple. I have a couple of variegated back there that are kind of girl colors, and so that's what mine is going to be. The colors are going to be around the heart. So anyway, last week I just showed that I had maybe, I think I had just this bottom part. I mean, not bottom, but this part here, maybe 4 granny squares. That's part of the heart, okay? And so I did a little bit more. I got all the solid. There was 6 solid, not, well, solid as in all one color, okay? Granny squares, okay? And that forms the heart. So see, I got the 6. There they are, okay? And then you start using the, you start doing these two colored granny squares, okay? And so see, I've just got those 2 down there at the bottom, and that makes the point of the heart. Oh, can't see it there. Anyway, that makes the point of the heart, okay? And so that's all I've gotten done, but I have pulled out like a purple, baby purple color, and like pastel, and a pastel green I pulled out to work to use. Now this pink, can you see it has some yeah, sparkly thread running through it. I don't know if you can see that sparkle, but anyway, it does. And so I have some other pinks I've got picked out too, some darker pinks and a lighter pink. Anyway, so that is my progress so far on this. I have a stitch marker right there because that tells me that this is the right side. So it is a join as you go pattern, which I really like that. So you can kind of build it as you go, and I am weaving in the ends. See, no ends. So looks like a shirt right now, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm having fun working on this, and I know I only got 4 squares done, but I was really finishing up last week. I was getting ready for the baby shower for my grandbaby and finishing up all those items, and so that's all I got done. You know, I mean, the baby shower was Saturday, and so I was helping to prepare for that, and so anyway, but I intend on getting right back onto this and getting some more of it done this week. So like I said, this is a free pattern. I put the link to it below. It is a Ravelry download, or at least that's the only place I could find it. You had to go to Ravelry and then download it, but it's free. Okay. That is works in progress number 1. Works in progress number 2 is something new I started. Okay, so I was just browsing through YouTube like we all do, and you know, you're watching a video, and then over on the right, if you're on a laptop or desktop, on the right hand side when you're watching the video, they have all those suggested videos. Okay, well, there was a lady's video, and it showed some baby blankets using self-striping yarn, but they were knitted, and I thought, well, I haven't knitted in a long time, and so I just clicked on it. The YouTube channel name is Noble Knits, okay, and so I went over there. I'll check her out and see what she's doing. And so she has some baby blanket patterns, and they make small blankets, but what it is it's knitting, and it's a real easy for beginners. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at all her videos, so she may have videos that actually teaches you to knit. I know how to knit, but I only know like knit stitch, purl stitch, a little bit of other stitches, but not much. Okay, well, this particular one, I thought it attracted me for several reasons. First, it said it was good for beginners knitters. It was easy. It was a baby blanket, and it uses she used one cake yarn, like mandala cake, or I think what she used was mandala Lion Brand cupcake cake, and she only used one to make it. And I thought, well, that's kind of what I've been looking for, because I have one mandala cake of this colorway called Valkyrie, okay, because I think I had 3 of them to begin with, and I made a baby blanket that only used 2. I think it was a blanket that I made. Anyway, it only used 2 of them, and so I had just one single skein of this Valkyrie left, and I really love that colorway. Now, I do know that Lion Brand has Lion Brand Baby, which is in the cakes, but I don't have any of those. But I thought this was a good baby color. And so I thought, oh, that's cool. And I thought, well, I haven't knitted in a long time. I'll just, you know, no hurry in getting it done. I know it's probably take me forever to go through this cake, but I thought I'll just get it started, see how easy it is. It is so easy if if you already know how to do the knit stitch. Okay, so what I'm doing is a mitered square. Oh, that's all it is. It's a mitered square. Okay, you start in one corner and it grows. You know, so it's kind of like corner to corner. Yeah, because you get. I'm trying to think. No, is it? I was thinking you get halfway and then you have to do a decrease, maybe. I don't even know. I didn't watch the video that far, but anyway, right now I'm doing increases and it looks like a V, so I'm assuming that no, I think it makes a square anyway. whatever, don't listen to me, watch the video. I will link it below in the description box. Okay, so right now all it is a knit stitch, and then right in the middle you have to use one marker. I'll show you. See, you use one marker right here, and you have to do like a make one. I think that's what they call it. I think. Anyway, it's easy, and I'm having fun doing it. I just have it by my chair at my desk. I'll pick it up, do 2 or 3 rows while I'm listening to a video or whatever, and it's just something different. Sometimes my hands get tired when I'm crocheting the same stitches over and over, and this is something different. Kind of rest your hands, you're doing something a little bit different. And like I said, I know knitting grows really slow, but I really like it. It makes things, you know, it feels nice, and I really like it, but it's so slow. And so I thought, well, I'm not in a rush to do it. I'll just do it a few stitches, and you know, just let it grow until I'm finished with it. Yeah, I think, because you don't have to do decreasing. I think, I'm still thinking about how it works. But anyway, all I know is you do it until you have about 5 yards left, I think she said, and then she tells you how to do the bind off, you know, to finish it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So here it is so far. Hasn't changed any colors yet, and you know, I'm still in it looks to me like, you know, because it's a light aqua and then it turns into a little dark aqua, so I think I'm going to be in this kind of color range for quite a while till I get that center, you know, until I actually change to something else. But I'm enjoying it. It's something different. So, and I've done good so far. I haven't messed up, except it seemed like there was one stitch. Yeah, there's like one little place right there. I don't even, if you see, can you see that? I don't even know what I did, because I'm not an expert knitter. But I think in the whole scheme of things, you won't notice that. So, I'm not sure what I did there. But anyway, that is works in progress number 2. Just something different. Okay, but I will put a link below in the description box to that particular video. And like I said, go check if you are interested in a knitting project, or thinking, oh, I never knitted a baby blanket before, even though I think this is going to be more like a car seat blanket, you know, because it's just using the one cake. I will put it below in the description box, and you can check out her channel. Okay. So that is what I am doing for that. So works in progress number 3, this is the last one. If you remember, been following me for a while, you know that several episodes ago I started Bernard and Bianca, which are characters from the Disney movie The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. They made 2. Anyway, I found this was a crochet pattern that was inspired by those characters, okay? And let me pop in a picture right here of Bernard and Bianca, or, well, they're inspired by them. Right here, I'll pop that picture in. Okay, so when I started on Bernard before, and I only had his body, and then his head was separate, and didn't have had his ears made but not sewed on, didn't have his arms yet. And so I picked him up just today, or this morning, and I started working on him again and started sewing some pieces together. And so let me show you what I've done so far. So I made his arms, and I have them attached. I actually attached his head to his body because he hadn't been attached yet. I did his nose, see that? And I believe I'm supposed to do, or if I want to, it said I could just do the nose and leave it, or I could get some smaller thread, which I might do if I get some, get some black crochet thread maybe, or something. And I'm supposed to put like a line down on his nose and then smile, but I don't know. I'll see if I want to do that or just leave it like that. I might leave it. Anyway, his ears, I've done his ears. Well, I prepared to sew them on. See, they're not sewed on. They're just pinned. They're all wonky. But I did prepare to sew them on by pinching the bottoms, you know, like you have to do sometimes with ears. But I decided not to sew them on because Bernard has a hat like a newsboy type hat, I think, that I'm going to have to make and then sew onto his head. And I thought, well, maybe I should wait and get that hat made and see how much room I'm going to need on both sides of that hat for the ears before I sew the ears on. So I decided not to sew the ears on yet. Now, I haven't done his tail yet. These are just, when I sew pieces on, I like to leave the strings for the pieces until I feel like I'm completely finished, and then I trim the strings off, because sometimes I'll go back and look at the pieces after I sewed them on, especially if I've been handling them a lot, and sometimes I feel like I need to put in some extra stitches into those pieces. Maybe they've loosened up a little bit, or maybe I didn't tack them down enough, and so that way I can adjust and make them more secure if I need to. Okay, so that's why I leave the strings on there. Okay, and so like I said, I haven't done the tail. The tail is done strange. I think you have to get some wire, which I believe my husband's got some. He's got all kinds of hardware-y stuff. And so I think you're supposed to do that and then wrap this skinny wire with the pink yarn. I'm going to use the same as what I use the inside of the ears, I think. Hopefully I got some more of that. I think I do. And then you're supposed to wrap it and glue, kind of wrap it and then put dots of glue, I guess, as you're wrapping it. And then you can kind of pose the tail. You stick it in the body somehow. And then you kind of pose the tail. And what the tail actually ends up being is a stand, you know, to help them stand up. So I need to look into that a little more and see how I'm going to do that. But anyway, so now I need to start on his clothes, and hopefully they'll fit him, because he's awful pudgy, and so I'm hoping that I didn't stuff him too much where his clothes are not going to fit. So we'll see if I have to add some stitches or something. But anyway, I'm glad I've picked up this project again. Of course, Bianca will be the same mouse pattern, but I will do her in white and then make her clothes as well. So, okay, that's my works in progress. Okay. What else? I made one acquisition from Amazon. I ordered a pattern book, and this is the Ultimate Book of Scrap Afghans. And I think it's a pretty old book. It's American School of Needlework. I don't think that's Leisure Arts, but maybe that's what it was before they turned into Leisure Arts. I'm not sure. But it was copyright, let me see, or published in 1999. That's what it says here. Yeah. Anyway, it is 20 scrap Afghan designs, okay? And I've seen this book. In fact, I think I bought this book as a gift for a friend many years ago. And, yeah. But I never got one for myself. And I happened to be browsing on Amazon, and I saw this book, and I thought, well, I'm going to pick it up. So, like I said, it's got 20 designs in here. Here's some on the back here that you can kind of see. Okay, and then then they do have some colored pictures in the middle here where it shows some more of the designs right there. And, oops, yeah, here's some more of them. Whoop. Okay, right there and right there. Okay. So anyway, I picked this up. I think it was $12, $13. I'm not sure. I think maybe it even had an Amazon credit that I used. I can't remember now. But anyway, I will put a link below in the description box where you can purchase this on Amazon if you want to pick it up. I don't know. I like using up scraps, and so when I find pattern books that say things about scrap Afghans, I guess I kind of collect them. So I didn't have this one, so I thought, well, I'm going to get it. So anyway, that's the only purchase that I've made, pretty much, yeah. Oh, and a dear friend of mine at church gave me some yarn. I'm not going to show you, but I mean, they're just basic colors, like a big skein of white, a big skein of red. I think there was a mint green color. It's all pretty much like Red Heart Super Saver, you know. And then I think another one of a baby yarn. Which probably is the Bernat Softy Baby, just like this, I think. Looks like that's what that is. But anyway, she had it and she decided that she'd give it to me because she wasn't crocheting at the moment, so she gave them to me. Isn't that sweet? So anyway, I have them in there. I need to put them in there. But it's just like basic colors, okay? Anyway, that's it. So upcoming, I have one more preemie hat I need to make, and then like I said, I just did my Whipwall Wednesday episode number 26 yesterday, and I'll have that link below as well. And then this upcoming Wednesday is another movie and stitch. And so I need to watch my G movie. I haven't watched it yet. And so I will have a review of that and then announcing what my H movie will be. And I'll be talking about that and showing the work on the project that I'm working on for that collab series that I am taking part in. And that will be this upcoming Wednesday. Okay, and I think that is it. Of course, there's always things upcoming. I like to keep busy and have lots of projects going. Okay, so I think that is it. Yeah. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed, my new subscribers, and of course those that have been with me from the beginning, my OGs. Thanks for sticking with me and following along on the progress on my projects, and of all the wonderful comments and things that are so kind that you are leaving for me. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and follow along as I'm working on these projects. I do have tutorials that I do and post or film and post. I haven't done one in a little bit. I need to pick out another one to do. But anyway, so I try to have little extra videos here and there as well. So, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and joining the Yarny community and follow along on my projects. I love to be able to share my love for yarn and yarny things with people that also enjoy hearing me talk about that sort of thing. I know I enjoy watching other people talk about their projects or hearing them. Okay, and I have a Facebook group, Yarnjoy Podcast, and you can find the info about that down below. I do have Instagram. I'm not on there that much. I really need to look into doing more Instagram. Usually I just post pictures of my finished objects over there. That's about it. I really need to look into maybe doing a little more over there. We'll see. Anyway, everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.